A moment of quiet understanding passed among them as the hum of the ship deepened, resonating like a heartbeat in the dim chamber. Each word, each confession, and every shared regret was a step toward healing. The old wounds of Project Eclipse and the personal failures that had defined their past now became the impetus for transformation. As they began to disperse to their various tasks, Cyrix lingered by the holographic display, staring at the words that had brought them together. In the flickering light, he whispered to himself, "We have a long road ahead, but for the first time in years, I believe that facing our inner demons may be the only way to truly defeat the darkness outside." Outside the chamber, down the long, winding corridors of the Black Ship, each team member carried the weight of their revelations like a sacred burden. Zorath returned to his studies with renewed vigor, determined to decode not just ancient texts, but the hidden meanings behind their own hearts. Karen's fingers danced over consoles with a new purpose, their previous hesitations replaced by a desire to rebuild not only technology but trust. Zephyra, now more open than she'd ever been, moved silently through the ship's passageways, each step a promise to herself and to her comrades that her past would no longer define her. And Orion, his face lined with the maps of sorrow and redemption, took a moment to breathe deeply before returning to the duties he'd long avoided. Later that night, as a gentle twilight fell over the ruined megacity outside, the team regrouped in a small observation nook overlooking the dark expanse. The distant stars twinkled like faint embers of hope, and the quiet murmur of the Black Ship's core filled the space between them. In that intimate silence, Cyrix spoke once more, his voice a soft echo of the resolve that had grown during their candid exchange. "Tomorrow," he began, "we take another step forward. We carry with us the weight of our past, yes, but also the promise of a future we can shape with our own hands. Let every scar remind us that we've survived, and let every honest word bind us closer together." Zorath offered a small, earnest smile. "I'm ready, Commander. I'm ready to face what lies ahead, not as a solitary scholar burdened by ancient knowledge, but as a member of something greater." Karen's quiet nod was accompanied by a spark of determination. "I'll build with our failures in mind. Every innovation will be a testament to the lessons we've learned." Zephyra's eyes, once haunted by secrecy, now shone with a tentative light. "I'll share everything I know, every truth, every mistake. I want to help us move forward, even if it means reliving the pain of the past." And Orion, his voice low and resolute, concluded, "Let our unity be our strength. Together, we can transform our darkest moments into the light that guides us home." In that shared space beneath the watchful gaze of distant stars, the dynamic tension between fear and hope, regret and redemption, was transformed into a palpable promise, a promise that, despite every trial, they would stand together. The Black Ship, with all its ancient wisdom and hidden scars, continued to hum its quiet song, as if affirming that in the delicate balance between light and shadow, unity could indeed forge a new destiny. Thus, with each honest word and every introspective pause, the team advanced into the uncertain night, their resolve growing with every step, ready to transform not only the legacy of their past, but the very course of their future. Inside the dim-lit corridor of the Black Ship, the team discovered a new, inspiring chamber that pulsed with an otherworldly glow, a place they later dubbed the Quantum Flux Chamber. Its smooth, obsidian walls were etched with ever-shifting fractal patterns that danced in tune with a deep, rhythmic hum. As the team gathered before the archway, the atmosphere itself seemed to tremble with possibility. Engineer Karen's fingers brushed over a series of luminescent controls embedded in the wall. "This interface isn't like anything we've seen before," Karen murmured, eyes wide as data streams cascaded across a portable holo screen. "It appears to manipulate quantum entanglement on a local scale, a tool, perhaps, left behind by the architects of Project Eclipse." Lieutenant Zorath stepped closer, his iridescent gaze fixed on the intricate designs. "You mean it can alter time at least in a localized area?" he asked, voice a blend of wonder and concern. "If that's true, every moment we spend here might be influencing our future in ways we can't yet understand." Commander Cyrix's tone was measured as he addressed the group. "We tread dangerous ground," he cautioned. "The Black Ship has always been more than a dormant weapon, it's a repository of advanced knowledge, and with that comes risks. We must learn to control this technology, or it might control us." The chamber's air pulsed, and as they stepped inside, the team felt time itself seemed to ripple. In one corner, a translucent grid of nano-engineered filaments shimmered like a living circuit board, defying conventional logic. Karen knelt before the grid, synchronizing their portable device with its data stream. "This is the heart of the chamber," Karen said softly. "It's calibrating our presence, adapting in real time. I suspect it can access scattered nodes, points where the ship's timeline has been deliberately altered." A sudden, resonant tone echoed from the grid, a harmonious sound that filled every corner of the room. As if in response, a series of holographic images flickered to life. The images were fragmented and surreal, a blurred visage speaking in an ancient, measured cadence, glimpses of battles fought in forgotten eras, and fleeting moments that seemed to belong both to the past and to futures yet unwritten. Zephra's eyes narrowed as she studied the images. "That face. It could be one of the original architects of Eclipse," she whispered. "Or maybe it's a guardian left behind to warn us." Her voice held both intrigue and a hint of personal reckoning, a confession of long-buried questions about her own history with the Resistance. Orion, his expression heavy with memories, stepped forward. "I see echoes of my own past in these visions," he admitted, his voice barely audible. "Moments when I made choices I wish I could undo." His words carried the weight of regret and the hope for redemption, a reminder that even the most advanced technology could evoke human vulnerability. As the holographic images swirled, Karen's device began to pulse faster. "I'm detecting rapid fluctuations in the quantum field," Karen announced. "It's as if the chamber is trying to communicate, to show us a pathway through time." The data revealed a network of temporal nodes, marked by distinct energy signatures, points where the fabric of reality was especially pliable. Zorath examined the readings with an intensity born of both scholarly curiosity and the scars of loss. "These nodes, they could let us access long-forgotten archives from Project Eclipse," he said, voice tight with both anticipation and apprehension. "Or, they might even allow us to witness alternate outcomes of our current struggle against the alien scourge." Commander Sirix interjected, his tone resolute yet cautious. "Alternate outcomes? We must remember that meddling with time can be a double-edged sword. One wrong step could unravel the very fabric of our present." His eye swept over the team, each face etched with determination and the burden of responsibility. The room suddenly vibrated with an escalating intensity. The grid's filaments converged into a bright pulse, and a crystalline voice emerged, resonating with clarity. "Seek balance," the voice intoned, echoing around them. "In unity of past and future lies the power to reshape destiny." The sound was neither male nor female, but a collective emanation of wisdom from beyond. Zephra's voice broke the reverent silence. "Who speaks?" she asked, her tone steady despite the tremor in her heart. But the grid offered no immediate answer, only the cryptic refrain of balance. Karen's eyes sparkled with a blend of scientific curiosity and a newfound sense of awe. "Perhaps this is the legacy of the original creators of Eclipse," they suggested. "An artificial intelligence designed not for warfare, but for guidance. It seems to be merging the ship's ancient technology with innovations that defy our current understanding." In a moment of shared introspection, Orion added, "I've carried regrets for too long, shadows of decisions made in desperation. If this chamber can offer a glimpse of what might have been and what could be, I'm willing to face that truth." The team fell into a contemplative silence as the chamber pulsed once more. A cascade of images flowed through the holographic grid, flickering scenes of a future where the alien threat had been repelled by a harmonious alliance of science and spirit, juxtaposed with darker visions of a fractured timeline, where unchecked ambition led to inevitable ruin. Lieutenant Zorath's voice was barely a whisper as he spoke. "I saw a future where our actions here today echoed back to save countless lives. But I also saw a future where our attempts to alter fate tore us apart." His eyes searched those of his comrades, seeking understanding and unity. Commander Sirix took a deep breath, his gaze steady. "Our mission is not solely to fight an external enemy," he said. "It's to confront our own limitations and to harness every innovation, every lesson, no matter how dangerous, to build a future worth fighting for." Karen nodded, their expression resolute. We stand at the crossroads of science and destiny. The quantum flux chamber is both a marvel and a test. If we can master its technology without succumbing to its risks, it might be the key to not only defeating the alien threat but also healing the wounds of our past. In that charged moment, the chamber's energy surged, and the grid flickered with intensified brilliance. Data streamed across Karen's device, mapping out potential interactions between the temporal nodes and the ship's core systems. "There," Karen announced, pointing to a particularly active node. "This one is generating an anomaly, a window into an alternate timeline. It could be our guide." Zorath stepped closer, studying the holographic map. "It appears to converge near the ship's main reactor," he observed. "If we can tap into that node, we might extract data that could reveal hidden strategies used in the early days of the invasion or even ways to preempt future attacks." As the implications of their discovery sank in, the team began to plan. Commander Sirix's voice grew firm, laced with the responsibility of command and the weight of hope. "We'll send a small detachment to interface with that node. We must proceed carefully, as any interference in the temporal field could alter our present." His gaze fell on Zephyra. "Zephyra, I want you to lead the team. Your instincts and understanding of hidden secrets make you the ideal candidate for this delicate mission." Zephyra's eyes shimmered with determination tempered by lingering uncertainty. "Understood, Commander. I won't let our past mistakes dictate our future," she replied, her voice quiet but resolute. Before the detachment moved out, Karen offered a final observation. "Remember," they cautioned, "the technology here is not merely a weapon, it's a mirror. It reflects our hopes, our regrets, and the consequences of every decision. Let it guide us, but never let it replace our own judgment." With that, the team set off into a side corridor illuminated by the residual glow of the quantum flux chamber. The walls around them occasionally flickered with remnants of past moments, a soldier's silent farewell, a scientist's desperate calculations, a fleeting glimpse of what might have been. Each vision was a reminder that every step forward was both a reckoning and an act of hope. Down the corridor, the detachment reached a sealed access point. Zephyra approached a console embedded in the wall, her gloved hands moving with practiced precision as she initiated a bypass of its security protocols. The door slid open with a low, mechanical sigh, revealing a small chamber lined with crystalline panels that pulsed with a soft, welcoming light. Inside, a secondary interface dominated the space, a confluence of futuristic circuitry and ancient symbols. Holographic data swirled above the console like a vortex of knowledge, and as Zephyra connected her device, the images coalesced into a coherent display. "This is it," she murmured, her voice steady yet filled with the gravity of the moment. "The temporal node that Karen identified. It's a repository of lost data from the early days of Eclipse, records of experiments, strategic communications, and even personal diaries from those who believed in a different future." The data was overwhelming, a tapestry of triumphs and failures woven together with the precision of an ancient plan. As Zephyra scrolled through the files, her eyes widened at a particularly poignant entry, a recorded message from one of the original architects of Project Eclipse, warning of the dangers of unrestrained ambition and the unpredictable nature of time. Meanwhile, back on the main deck, Commander Sirix and Lieutenant Zorath monitored the detachment's progress. Zorath's analytical mind raced as he correlated the new data with the holographic records he'd been studying. "This message," he said slowly, "it suggests that the project wasn't just a desperate measure, it was an attempt to reconcile humanity's past with its future, to forge a balance between innovation and restraint. The architects knew that power without balance could be our undoing." Sirix's jaw tightened as he absorbed Zorath's words. "And now that balance may lie in our hands," he replied, his voice both determined and reflective. "We must learn from these voices of the past so that we can guide our own future wisely." Inside the node chamber, as Zephyra continued her data retrieval, the holographic display shifted unexpectedly. A spectral figure appeared, a translucent, ethereal representation of a person whose features were obscured by time. The figure spoke in a soft, measured cadence. "Balance is found not in control, but in understanding. Let your actions be guided by the lessons of both light and shadow." The voice resonated deeply with Zephyra. I understand, she whispered, feeling both the weight of her own history and the promise of redemption. In that quiet moment, she recognized that the true challenge was not merely to harness advanced technology, but to integrate its wisdom with the human heart. The data she retrieved began to reveal startling connections. It outlined experiments that manipulated energy flows between dimensions, innovations that predated the alien invasion by decades. Some records hinted at a collaboration between brilliant scientists and clandestine mystics, individuals who had dared to dream of a future where the boundaries between time, space, and consciousness blurred into one. It was a legacy of ambition and humility, a stark reminder that the same innovations that saved lives could also fracture them if wielded without care. Outside the node chamber, the detachment regrouped with the main team. In the quiet hum of the command deck, Commander Sirix addressed his weary but determined comrades. What we've uncovered is more than data, it's a narrative of hope, failure, and the unyielding drive to forge a better tomorrow. The quantum flux chamber and these temporal nodes aren't mere relics of a bygone era, they're instruments that can help us tip the balance in our favor. Lieutenant Zorath added, the technology here challenges us. It forces us to confront our past mistakes, to learn from them, and to reimagine our future. It's not just a weapon, it's a guide to understanding the delicate dance between innovation and consequence. Karen, eyes still aglow from their own breakthrough in the chamber, nodded. Our future is intertwined with these technological marvels. We must proceed with both boldness and caution, ensuring that every leap forward is grounded in the wisdom of our experiences. Zephyra, her voice steady despite the tremors of emotion, concluded, today we stand at a threshold. The innovations we have encountered, this melding of ancient purpose and futuristic science, offer us the chance to redefine our destiny. We have seen visions of what might be and what might have been. It is now up to us to shape a future where our technology does not become our undoing, but our salvation. As the team dispersed to prepare for the next phase of their mission, the black ship itself seemed to exhale a gentle pulse, a signal that its secrets were not static relics of the past, but living, breathing innovations that challenged and inspired in equal measure. The corridors shimmered with echoes of time, each step a promise and a warning that the balance between light and shadow was as fragile as it was vital. In the silent resolve of that moment, the Resistance realized that the path ahead was as unpredictable as the quantum energies that now swirled around them. Yet within that uncertainty lay a boundless potential, a chance to harness futuristic innovations, to reconcile the scars of their past with the promise of tomorrow, and to transform every challenge into a stepping stone toward a destiny reimagined. Thus, with hearts fortified by shared resolve and minds awakened to the possibilities of a universe where science and spirit converge, the team advanced deeper into the mysteries of the Black Ship. Each futuristic marvel and imaginative phenomenon they encountered became a testament to their commitment that even in the face of overwhelming odds and the unpredictable tides of time, humanity's enduring spirit would always shine as a beacon of hope, guiding them forward into the uncharted realms of possibility. In the quiet after the storm of revelations, the team gathered in the central chamber of the Black Ship, a space where the alien light softened to reveal the scars and triumphs of their journey. Commander Sirix, flanked by Lieutenant Zorath, Engineer Karen, Covert Operative Zephyra, and the reflective Commander Orion, surveyed the room with a mixture of solemnity and hope. The immediate turbulence of temporal anomalies and fractured legacies had been quelled, replaced by a gentle, persistent pulse from the ship's core, a heartbeat that spoke of both ancient wisdom and the promise of renewal. For a long, measured moment, they stood in silence, each lost in their own reflections. Zorath's eyes traced the lingering images of alternate futures and forgotten pasts, his mind still grappling with the balance between destiny and the weight of regret. Karen's hands, still faintly trembling from the intricate dance with quantum circuits, carried a newfound resolve to channel technology into healing rather than havoc. Zephyra, who had wandered deep into hidden corridors of secrets, felt a quiet liberation in sharing her truth, a truth that had begun to stitch together the rifts of her troubled past. And Orion, whose memories had long been shrouded in remorse, allowed himself the grace of hope, realizing that redemption was not a distant dream but a path walked one careful step at a time. Commander Sirix broke the reflective hush with a measured, resonant voice. Today, we have not only uncovered the legacy of Project Eclipse, but also the very essence of who we are, a tapestry woven from light and shadow, loss and discovery. Every innovation we've witnessed, every echo from our past, is not a reminder of our failures, but a beacon guiding us toward a future we can build together. His words, simple yet profound, hung in the air like a vow, a promise that the lessons of the past would light the way forward. Outside, through vast observation windows, the ruined megacity stretched into the horizon, a stark landscape punctuated by distant glimmers of civilization and the unyielding darkness of the unknown. The black ship, a relic of both war and wonder, floated silently in space as if to underscore the delicate balance between what had been and what might yet be. In that space between light and dark, between the echoes of regret and the spark of hope, every member of the team felt the stirring of something timeless, a sense that their journey was not simply a battle against an alien scourge, but an odyssey toward self-discovery and collective transformation. As the ambient glow of the ship's core deepened into a steady rhythm, the team dispersed to their tasks with a newfound unity. Zorath returned to his studies, his mind alight with questions of fate and time. Karen set to work integrating the quantum flux chamber's innovations into a framework of balance and resilience. Zephyr continued to unlock the secrets of the hidden archive, a determination tempered by the courage of vulnerability, and Orion, his gaze both heavy and hopeful, took solace in the idea that every regret could be transmuted into a lesson for the future. In that reflective calm, the immediate conflicts had found resolution not in the vanquishing of an external enemy, but in the reconciliation of inner doubts and the melding of past and future into a coherent whole. The ship's corridors, once echoing with uncertainty and fear, now hummed with a quiet promise that every ending carries within it the seed of a new beginning. And so, beneath a twilight of distant stars and in the soft pulse of alien light, the black ship sailed into the unknown. The mysteries of time, legacy, and human endeavor lingered in every silent corner, urging the team onward. Their hearts, bound by shared struggle and unyielding hope, beat in unison, a reminder that even in the darkest void, the light of understanding and unity would always guide them toward the next chapter of their epic journey.